Hello and welcome to this Project in a Box video session. I'm Malcolm West, and in this session we're going to be having a look at PRINCE2 in practice. This has been a series of videos. Initially we just looked through what the various options were, and then in these next three videos, the first one we looked at the free package, Community Edition and PRINCE2 Resource Pack running alongside Planner. Then we looked at upgrading the PRINCE2 Resource Pack to the full PRINCE2 method template with process flows for £15 and using Planner again. And in this session we're going to have a look at updating Community Edition itself to the next application, which is Personal Edition, which is £99, and taking the PRINCE2 method template for that, which is £25 with Personal Edition. And that gives us lots of extra stuff, portfolios, reporting, things like that. Of course we're going to use Planner again as we did before. So let's go and have a look at that in action. Okay, so here's my Personal Edition. Just like Community Edition, Personal Edition is a Windows application. You can install it to your desktop if you want to. You can also run it portable from a USB stick or other device of that type. So when I log in, immediately we can see it's a little bit different to Community Edition, a bit more menus and structure here to it because there's more functionality going on, and I can open my project and I see my projects here rather than just a flat list. That's what I guess I've got when all projects are selected. I can instead define some what we call portfolios. These are collections of projects, and I can then select one of the projects from within that particular portfolio. And my projects can exist in multiple different portfolios or in no portfolios at all. So it's really a grouping mechanism. When it comes to reporting, I can report at the project level, but also at the portfolio level, where it will merge together the data from that set of projects for me. So let's go and have a look here at the PRINCE2 method template. As we've seen before, we can have a range of different methods here and a range of different methods sat within the same portfolio if we want to. So here's my PRINCE2 method template. It looks exactly the same as it did in Community Edition. That's because it's the same diagrams, the same structure, the same set of templates, but built into this is a slightly higher level of functionality around the application itself, plus the ability, like I say, to do reporting and things. So when I come in and look, for example, here at plans, and I come and look at my various files, we have the ability to flag particular versions of those as approved or baseline versions. And when we're viewing and checking out our files here, we have the ability to integrate directly with email. Personal Edition stores your email profiles, so you can interact and send things directly from your local Outlook if you want to, or you can hook them onto any other email service that you have available. So that sort of thing, just to enhance the way we serve up and deal with our project documentation. We also have a search facility built into here as well. You'll see we can search the content of the projects or the content of the descriptions and the project file names. So other than that, working with files is exactly the same sort of thing as it was when we were in Community Edition. We're just working through the files as we go through the process steps, just like we saw in the Community Edition full PRINCE2 method template. It shows us the things that we're supposed to work on at that point in the process, and it really saves us having to refer back to the manual all the time. So when we're controlling a stage and reviewing stage status, for example, we can see the documentation relevant at the stage level and also at the project level, and we've got hints and tips telling us about what we're supposed to do with all that in the circumstances. So that's very much the same as it was before, slightly more sophisticated in terms of the way we might use this, but we are still working through the files, building up the content that we're going to use behind the scenes. So here I've got status reporting spreadsheet, I've got my plan, we can see they've been versioned here, my finances, I've got some extra information in there, and when I come to my risk and issue registers, again they've been versioned as well. So when I'm doing my conventional reporting, telling my boss or the customer what's going on with the project, I might have to go and grab latest things out of all of these files and merge them together by hand. And I could have done that in Community Edition, and that's probably what I'm doing in my general day-to-day job so far. But here in Personal Edition, we can go and get the system to do that for us. So I can go and choose a project report. We have some templated things set up here, which is getting me certain things. So top two levels of indent from my plans. Risks, I'm getting all of them, but I could filter those in some way and switch on and off particular aspects of the display. But I'm getting the various things that I want to here and chucking them out into a defined display type, poster type report here. when I press run, it goes away and gets all the data from that project and puts it into the report for me. So this is kicked out to Word. I've got various options about how I might choose to set all this up. Let's zoom that in a little bit so we can see that a bit better. So I've got my status reporting. I've got the latest information from my finances here, so I can see that coming directly from the spreadsheet that's holding finances in my project. I've got some latest images from my project, timeline coming out of my plan. So this could be planner file, it can be Microsoft Project if you want it to be as well. You simply hold the plan file in the system, you tell the system which file you're getting your planning data out of, and it pulls it out and puts it in your report. Same with my risks and issues, brought those back from my register there, so I've got some images, chart type displays, and then lists of items, and then below I'm getting the other things coming from spreadsheets. We use spreadsheets a lot to collect the different blocks of data that we're interested in, and that's because it's very easy for you to then personalize those things should you want to. So here's some charts coming back from finances. We do the same sort of thing with benefits and other areas if we want to. That's my report produced for me. I could fiddle around with that, print it out, give it to the person who needs it, etc. If I want to go to a different project and produce a report, I just simply go to my other project. So let's go open project. This time I'll go to my 4-step example, and once I'm in there I can go and run the report for that, and we'll get exactly the same layout and structure report. Of course, very different content depending on what's in this particular project. So we'll go and see. It's obviously not really been started yet, not much finances or images, just a couple of example risks and issues and a dummy sort of plan. But we're getting nothing in the finances. We're getting whatever's available in that particular project. And this is all set up for you by the method template. So you create your project from the method, all those links are established, you then just have to work through the documentation, filling in the content, and that will pull through to your reports. Of course, because you're reporting there into Word, you can then fiddle with the reports at the end if you want to, add extra things in, copy and paste, etc. But it's about doing the handle turning things. So often in reporting, people are going and getting the wrong version of stuff from the wrong version of the file, and they're not merging it together in a sensible way. This is doing all those things for you, both at the project level and also reporting across the portfolio, across those collections of projects as well. The other thing that makes Personal Edition different here is that you can personalize the method. So I'm creating my new project, from a so let's come to new project from what we call the method template, and we have a range of those here. But here in Personal Edition, they're not locked down as they are in Community Edition, so you can take them and personalize them. So we're providing, if you like, here the full official Prince2 method template. We're providing some N-step methods, as we call them, for smaller, less complex project environments using Prince2 templates, and you can take these things and personalize them to match your own particular needs. Change the templates to have your logos and the particular headings that you want if you want to collect some slightly different sort of information. You can change the navigation diagrams here to give different processes. You can put extra processes in and take them away. And so if you're trying to work towards your own particular flavor of Prince2 for the sorts of projects that you do, you can very easily do that here within Personal Edition. So giving you, as your knowledge and ability to implement Prince2 increases, you can do much more of that. In practice, Prince2 has obviously a thing about tailoring the method. You're supposed to tailor the method to match the type of project that you're doing. That's often very, very difficult for people new to Prince2. They're trying to do the most difficult thing the first time they start to work on their first project. So by having these standard sort of project environments here, you can pick up a full one, or you can go to something much lighter and use that instead on your projects. And once you get a feel for all that, you can then start to personalize your methods here and have some different starting points to work from. And in fact, once you've got your project up and running, of course we can so let's go and just reopen our full Prince project here. We can then personalize this by saying, well, actually in this particular process we're perhaps not going to use some aspect of it. For example, the benefits review plan, we're going to remove that from the process. So we can start to tweak this around, either take it out of the process but leave it in other processes, or delete it entirely. So you can start a full Prince method and then wind back the content that you're going to use based on your tailoring approach. So loads of things here to help you with delivering practical Prince2. About doing, our tools and our approaches are about trying to do the difficult legwork for you, assembling all the process structures, preparing all the templates for you, getting all the reporting structures in place so that you can focus on delivering the project, agreeing the requirement with the customer, managing that through to the end of delivery. So hopefully you found that useful. This is obviously the sort of top end of what we're talking about for personal Prince2 delivery. We may well do another video focusing on Prince2 for the organisation. We've obviously got loads of those on our website already, but perhaps another one to add to this theme. Hope that's been really useful, and if you've got any further questions, do contact us. We'd be delighted to hear from you. Thank you very much.